like you could have done from that point to get ahead?
It doesn't ever matter how you get there. Of course, there's things that we're going to look at and try to get better so we're not down, 17. But at the end of the day, it's a 2-point game, and we had our opportunities there. We struggled to contain Mitchell, obviously, down the stretch. He made some tough shots. He did what he typically does. We threw, 2 or 3 things at him, and he still was able to negotiate and manage and find some airspace. So we'll get to work. We have a couple days, and we just got to figure it out. There's a couple, games where we're right there, and now we just have to figure out how to get it over the top. It's going to take more. It's going to take collectively us, digging deeper, and we have respect for who they are, what they can do, but we have to be better.
You obviously didn't end the way you guys wanted to, but what did you guys do better second half that third quarter and the fourth quarter to get it down to 2?
Well, we had more consecutive stops, and we just kept on digging. That for us, that creates momentum. I know everybody says that, but for us, it definitely does. And then we were able to generate some good things, going down the other end. Tyler was really good. I thought Bam's competitive spirit all night long was exactly what we need from him. And Nico gave us a real good boost. Offensively, we just look different when he's on the floor. He creates some stress with his skill, and I'm pleased that he was able to play those 24 minutes. It's a credit to him putting in all that time conditioning, the last month or so.
Thoughts on the lineup change? I mean, obviously it seemed apparent, but going with Davion and shaking things up when he'd been so good as a sixth man, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, just to there's a couple different factors with that, but wanted to be able to organize ourselves offensively at the start a little bit better, get Tyler off the ball, Wiggs off the ball, and then obviously some defensive presence. His competitive spirit on the ball was very good all night. And you're dealing with 2 guards that can put a lot of pressure on you.
There seemed to be an emphasis from the start to generate more threes. Were you happy with the process today?
Yes, some of the spacing that led to turnovers, we have to clean that up. And look, each game is different. This is what this game presented, and we have to be able to take open shots, create open shots. If those shots end up being the three-point line, you take them. If they end up being at the rim, you take them. In a playoff game, if they end up being somewhere in between with the right guys, you might have to take those as well. We just have to consistently get to our wheelhouse more often.
And their 11 threes in the second quarter, is that just a point where I don't want to say throw your arms up in the air, but when they're
no, you never do. You got to keep on. You have to stay the course. You have to become even more stubborn. There was 4 of those, I believe, that we defended really well, and we closed out, and we contested. And they made those, and then once it got to 7 or 8, I think those last 4, I think we were discouraged, just for a short period of time. And this team, they can make shots. You just have to be relentlessly consistent and stubborn. You have to continue to make those efforts and close out and get a hand-to-ball contest, even if they make 4 or 5 in a row. Then that means you have to show even more resolve. And so that's what will get better. Those whatever it was, 4, I just remember those were not the same efforts, and we'll clean that up.
You talked about after last game about trying to get Tyler more involved in the crunch time offense, and we saw, ironically, Davion seemed to run point almost exclusively, but Tyler's motion, both towards the ball and away from the ball, seemed to finally create those advantages you guys were looking for. So what were you looking for there?
Well, it's tough to just run a direct play for him, against this defense. So this is something we've had to develop for a few months, getting him off the ball, creating some overreactions, become a lot more, patient in that game, and it opens up a lot of things for us. Might be different next game.
The decision without Andrew in the fourth quarter, I'm not ever sticking with that.
Yeah, I mean, we'd taken it all the way to 2. I thought about it. I actually put him at the scorer's table at 6 to go, and everybody, the group wanted to keep on pushing through. Stayed with it, but obviously, he'll be very important the rest of the series.
How important was Jovic's just kind of like more quick and decisive decision making?
Yeah, that's who he is.
Yeah.
He's been, just a big time boost for us off the bench, all year long. And he's a dynamic player. So we just look different. He's on the court. He makes quick decisions. He's got a great skill level. He's got size. I'm pleased that he was able to play these 24 minutes in a playoff setting, which is probably like 45 minutes in a regular season. He's been grinding the conditioning to prepare for this.
So much of the conversation before the game was game 2 SPO. You just have a consistent ability to get your teams to turn things around after the game went lost. What is the key to being able to bounce back, both like emotionally and execution wise?
That's the deal. We have to. We'll get to Miami. We'll get to work. All right. Thank you.
Thanks.